All right, y'all. Happy Tuesday. So today we start our journey on the 11 common issues facing startups, younger companies. And so today, numbers 1 and 2. Number 1, money. And we're not talking about money in the context of fundraising. That's a different animal. We can talk about that another time if you've got some interest in that. But we're talking about money management. And for me, that comes down to probably 3 things to keep you out of hot water with respect to your finances. Number 1, overconfidence. Number 2, the concept of total cost of ownership. And then number 3 really becomes your desire to put on airs, your ego for cars, clothes, office space, whatever, the appearance that you're looking to put out there. So let's tackle these one at a time. So number 1, overconfidence. Generally, this is going to play into number 2, total cost of ownership, but overconfidence insofar as your cost projections are too low and your revenue projections are likely too high. Starting a business is not a simple linear process. So if you think that you're going to be at your break-even point in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, whatever it is, you better have a game plan for that benchmark not being your reality. So, second item, total cost of ownership. And this feeds into that overconfidence in looking at your costs and overestimating what your revenues are going to be. So when you buy an asset, any asset, let's take a car, for example. You've got to pay not only the price for that asset, but then you have to look at the ongoing costs to maintain and retain ownership of that asset. So with a car, you're looking at gasoline, you're looking at insurance, you're looking at routine maintenance, you're looking at unplanned maintenance. Those are your additional costs of ownership, annual property taxes. So looking beyond the price tag, can you afford to buy it? Yes. Can you afford to keep it? These are 2 different animals. You cannot approach them with the same mentality. If you're only looking at the price tag, you're going to find yourself in hot water. So, working through the concept of total cost of ownership in everything that you're investing in. And a simple rule of thumb to avoid some of this overconfidence and avoid errors in total cost of ownership is simply building in a buffer. When we talk about surprises in business, it's rarely a good thing. So with that buffer, building in, call it a slush fund, call it a rainy day fund, call it whatever you like, but make sure that when you see these surprises, they are happy surprises. Hey, we didn't spend as much. Hey, we have extra money left over in the budget. That's a much easier and a much more desirable problem to deal with than it becomes, how are we going to make payroll? Or how are we going to pay these taxes? How are we going to stay in business? So, overconfidence, total cost of ownership, very related. Now the third one, this really gets down to choices. Do you want to reinvest in the business? Do you want to get frugal and get your business off the ground? Or are you more concerned with how quickly can I get a salary? How quickly can I get that new car or buy that new house or buy these new clothes? And this sort of ego-driven desire to make yourself appear as successful as you could potentially be. Again, opportunity costs and transaction costs. If you're taking that big salary, money that could otherwise be reinvested in your business, new skills that you need, staff that you need to bring on, well, you've spent that money. That money's gone. Office space that you don't need. It's too big, it's too flashy. Huge problem for lots of businesses. I've seen this firsthand. I've seen professionals who are more concerned with making their business look successful than actually building a successful business. You don't need the 60th floor office space. You don't need the brand new car right out of the gate. Get frugal. Build those retained earnings. Make your business the solid foundation upon which then you can build those other things that you want. So, looking at money, again, recapping, overconfidence, revenue projections too high, too fast, cost projections, too low, feeding into number 2, not looking at total cost of ownership. And then number 3, your desire to appear something, some way. Focus on the business, focus on the outcomes before you worry about the appearance. So number 2, neglecting marketing and sales. I don't really know how much I need to say about this one because how are you going to make money without customers? But you'd be amazed how many people think that I have this passion, I have this skill. They will come. This is not Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will not necessarily show up. You have to go out there and get in front of these people. You're gonna have to spend some money marketing your company, building that credibility that you need. How do I know this? I'm doing it right now because marketing is not an area, especially digitally, where it's not one of my strengths. And the time it would take for me to learn all of the digital SEO and keywords and AdWords and all the stuff that I'm beginning to become aware of in this domain. So I'm not going to neglect marketing and sales. I'm going to go out and I am going to find a good, reliable expert who's delivered results in that area for other companies so that I can focus on my strengths. Similarly for people within your organization. Accountants don't need to be doing sales. Sales does not need to be doing accounting. Stick to your strengths, work to minimize your weaknesses. But don't neglect marketing and sales because it's going to be very tough to make that money, to build your company, to reinvest and to grow if you don't have those customers. So, money, neglecting marketing and sales. Problems 1 and 2 for lots of startups, lots of small businesses. So, we'll be back tomorrow looking at the next ones. Until then, thanks for watching.